Hey, it's Rav. Welcome to Everyday Investor TV show, the hottest investment show in the world. That's right, I said it. I don't care who knows it. This show is designed to help us grow our money. You see, often the challenge is we take our precious time, we go to work, and if God's blessed you with work, that is a good thing. We go to work, we get a paycheck in order to eat. We take our time, we go to work, we get paid so that we can provide, and that is a good thing. But imagine a life where money could make you money. You could take some of your time and spend it with family, friends, engaging in a purpose greater than yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I'm super excited about this show. Good friend of mine all the way from Southwest Florida, Matt Kuchar, is on the show, and he's going to teach us how we can make money investing in Southwest Florida. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It was this totally different mindset where they tried to keep the state open. So a lot of people moved here for that. Like, I don't want to be in lockdown. I want to live my life. And that was one of the things. The other thing that happened was people, when they're able to move and live where they want, right? People started working remote. And I think once that genie was out of the bag, people are like, I'm going to live wherever I want.
Hey guys, Lee here from Wise Construction. Want to talk to you guys about doing bench footing, which is another option of doing underpinning. It's a little bit less expensive, a little bit easier to do, requires less time, and we find that doing the bench footing works tremendously when we are doing maybe up to 1 foot. The way bench footing works is we're gonna basically dig down to the footings. We're gonna come off the wall, approximately about 1 foot to 1.5 feet, and we're gonna pour almost like a curb. We're gonna fill it with rebar and then backfill it with concrete. And this will allow you to get your basement down to legal heights or even below that. So 6'5" to 7 foot, which will come off the wall roughly about 1 foot. So we find that doing the bench footing is far superior than doing the underpinning. Any questions? Feel free to give me a call.
The mortgage world has changed. Has your advice? Are you looking for a modern approach to your mortgage planning process? Advice tailored to your unique, ever-changing circumstances? Whether you're upsizing, downsizing, purchasing, or refinancing, the Kyle Ford Mortgage team works with individuals and companies to custom tailor the right mortgage product for you. Working with a wide selection of lenders, we're here to serve our clients and help them achieve their real estate and retirement goals. Contact the Kyle Ford Mortgage team today, Canada's mortgage choice.
Hey guys, Omar Khan here from Theta Trading, and today's topic is crypto. I get asked this question often. Hey Omar, do you invest in cryptocurrencies? And for me, the answer is no. I don't invest in anything that I am not comfortable with and that I do not fully understand. So for me, the world of crypto, and this may change down the road, but for me, at this point in time, it's still a very abstract concept. I don't understand the utility, and because of that reason, I find that there's better risk-adjusted returns that I can have elsewhere, and for that reason alone, I stay out. Now, that does not mean it's not the right investment for you, and I'll cite something that Warren Buffett said over the weekend, which again is a bit of a concern area for him. The Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting just happened this past weekend in Omaha, Nebraska, and Warren Buffett said that he wouldn't buy all the Bitcoin in the world, for $25. Now, that's his opinion. My opinion is I don't know enough about it, therefore I'm out. You make your opinion, but always, always understand what you're investing in and why you're investing in it. See you guys next week. Hey, it's Rav. Welcome back to Everyday Investor. We're talking to my friend Matt all the way in Southwest Florida. Matt, thank you so much for taking time out to be with me on TV here.
It's great to connect with you again. Can't wait till you get down here in person.
Well, listen, every time I go there, I mean, we know each other from church, of all things. And of course, our daughters are friends. And, I thank you so much for, we came back and my daughter wanted to stay, I think a month later, and she hung out at your house a lot. And so thank you for being an uncle to her. And that's what relationships are all about, right? And we just happen to be talking, and you're talking to me about some investment strategies, your new company. There's a logo right behind you. Xiaomi. How do you say it?
You said it right. Swami. Yep.
Yes. No, I love that. And I can't wait till very ingenious. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But how have you been? Here we are in the, spring coming into summer 2022. I've never been. I mean, I love to come to Naples, Fort Myers, December, January, February, March, that kind of thing. I've never really been in the summer. Is it kind of like the winter here, except for you guys turn on the air conditioning while we turn on the heat in our, how does it work?
Oh, it's definitely more bearable than you think, but you're absolutely right. Like by 11 o'clock, you don't want to be outside. You're not doing yard work at noon. It's just too hot, and it's humid. So by that time, once June rolls around, it's the storms start coming in. So we get a rainstorm almost every single day, 3-4 o'clock. And it's interesting because up to that point, it's just hot and humid. You wake up and you're sweating. It's just kind of the way that it works. I mean, unless you're inside the house. But the clouds start to roll in and that cools things off. Then the rains come and it cools back down into the low 80s, upper 70s. And it's actually pretty comfortable till the next morning when we do it again. But yeah, when that sun comes out, it definitely heats up quick.
Well, hopefully I'll see a lot more of you in the winters to come. But no, thanks for being on the show. In kind of the northeast part of the continent, the Toronto area, if you will, it's been crazy here the last 10 years, real estate, wise. Usually in Florida, you buy a property just for the cash flow. It doesn't necessarily increase in value all that much, but last 3 years, I mean, you guys have gone crazy there. Like, yeah. I told my wife, in a few years, this was a few years ago, in a few years, we'll buy something in Florida. I can't buy now. I mean, I got to continue to rent. What do you, I mean, nobody can predict these things, but what is it? Why have prices skyrocketed, especially in Southwest Florida?
So, I mean, there are a lot of things. The pandemic changed a lot of things. One of them was, politically, no matter where you stand, our governor kept our state wide open, right? So everybody from New York, Michigan, that were kind of in this lockdown mode, were like, I'm going to go to Florida. And it was like, wow, I can go outside, and it was this totally different mindset where they tried to keep the state open. So a lot of people moved here for that. Like, I don't want to be in lockdown. I want to live my life. And that was one of the things. The other thing that happened was people, when they're able to move and live where they want, right? People started working remote. And I think once that genie was out of the bag, people are like, I'm going to live wherever I want. And people who had wanted to live in a nice, warm climate, year round. And again, it's not that bad in the summertime. I mean, there's a 4 or 5 hour window. You're not going to be doing yard work outside. Other than that, it's really not that bad. But I think all of these things combined really, we've hit between 30 and 50% appreciation in the last couple of years. It's in Tampa, which is just a few hours north of here. Their rents went up 50% last year.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, listen, Mama always taught me when you have more demand than supply, we're in business. And so really that's what you're talking about, right? There's been a lot of demand, and especially, close to the beach, condos, yep. So on and so forth. But you sent me a deal. You say, hey, Rav, just look at this. This was one of my latest deals. And I was like, is this from like 10 years ago? Let's talk about that for a second. You bought a property for how much?
$125,000.
Let me just kind of write it here. So $125K was the purchase. And where is this?
This is in Fort Myers, Florida.
Really?
So one of the things that was really interesting, so the closer you get to the beach, the higher the value tends to be, right? So this actually is only like 10, 15 minutes from the beach. And it's surrounded by neighborhoods that were way more expensive, but there's this little pocket of homes that are small, 3-1, 2-1s, a lot closer together. And they're older homes that, basically it's just not as nice of a neighborhood. Stuff hardly ever comes up in there, but there's this one came up for auction, and I first looked at it and I'm like, That's interesting. It was only, like I said, 125. And so, but the problem was the people were still living in it, and you couldn't get in. So you couldn't knock on the door and go like, hey, what kind of condition is your house in? You had to view it from the outside. So I looked at the public records. I looked at a bunch of stuff, and I kind of took a gamble on it, and it definitely paid off. Because the public records, one of the things that really made a big difference in valuation, the public records said it was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Okay. But when I went out there, or what was listed in the auction was a 4.2. So I'm like, something's just not right. What gives here? And so I actually renegotiated the deal. They didn't give me much. They gave me like $3,000 off. But I was like, I don't know what I'm getting. I don't know if it's a 2.1 or a 4.2. Look at the public records. So, and once I actually got possession of the home and closed on it, I went, knocked on the door. People were really nice. And they're like, yeah, we haven't made our payment. And I'm like, yeah, guess what? It not only did it go through auction, but now they've sold it to the end bidder. I'm the high bidder. And I worked out a cash for keys to, hey, I'll give you 30 days. You don't have to pay me anything. But if you move out, I'm not going to go through the eviction process. And they moved out.
That's great. So we bought this for 125. Was there just lipstick needed? Was it a big renovation? What did you do, and how much did you spend?
Small reno, about $15,000. Mostly, I redid a guest bathroom. What they had done is the reason why it said 2-car or 2-bath, they took the garage and turned that into part of the house. So it didn't have a garage. It ended up being a 4.2. And that bathroom that was in that garage, it was bad. So I had to totally redo that. I had to redo the floor, paint throughout the outside, cleaned up, fixed some windows, just small piddly stuff, really.
And Matt, do you pay all cash for it?
Yeah, I pay cash. Yep.
Paid cash. So was there any other? So we're in for 140. Any other costs?
Nope.
No. So
even with the title down here, because the seller pays title insurance, we're in that 140 range. So.
And what then would you rent this for? What did you rent it out for?
I rented it for $1,450 a month.
$1,450 a month. Wow. So, if we can get, what we call the 1% rule, we're doing well. You're just slightly over that, meaning, if we buy for $140,000, if we can rent for $1,400 a month, that's a good thing. So you bought this for $140 and you're getting $1,450 a month. That is fantastic.
I could get $1,600, $1,700 now a year later, but I didn't even advertise it. So in that neighborhood, the people saw me fixing up the home, and I had 4 applications just from neighbors. And that's really what I wanted. I wanted somebody who lived in the neighborhood, who knew a neighbor who was related. And I met the couple. They were in an apartment, and they were paying $1,450 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. And they were able to go get a 4.2, for $1,450. So maybe I went a little bit low, but they're amazing. Like, they never call me for anything. I give them the deposit slips, and they just make the deposit every on the 31st every month.
No, that's fantastic. So, and then of course, it's $125,000. But what's it worth now that you put the $15K into that?
I just looked it up on Zillow. It says $245.
Stop it. $245.
That's what Zillow says. There's a sale in the community right now that's pending. It's not closed, so I have no idea. That's at $290, but that's what Zillow, those estimates said. I try, and I'm a realtor, right? So I pulled the comps. There are no comps. Like, nothing in that neighborhood sells. The people just stay there.
No, but that's fantastic, Matt. I mean, you're applying the 1% rule. You made $100,000, says Zillow, on your property. You could slap a mortgage on it and even make more return on investment if you wanted. And so these are hard to find, but you're saying they're out there.
They're out there. Yeah, you just got to be right. I took a risk. I couldn't see. I thought, okay, let's say I got to put in a new kitchen. $10,000 for a house that size, right? So I was like, okay, flooring, and the floor was actually pretty decent. I didn't have to tile the main level floor at all. It was really good, But if I'd have had to put in all new flooring, what's that? Some carpet, $3,000 or $4,000. So
no, this is great stuff. Let's take a quick break, and then I want to hear all about this business of yours, which is very interesting. You're watching Everyday Investor. We're talking to my good buddy Matt from Southwest Florida. He's making money investing in real estate. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Kyle from the Kyle Ford Mortgage Team. Have you wanted to invest in real estate, but are a little bit nervous about tenants, toilets, and renovations? Did you know that you could passively earn returns between 10 and 12% secured on real estate with no tenants, no toilets, and checks deposited into your account every month? If you're looking for opportunities to invest in real estate without the headaches, don't hesitate to reach out to myself and the Kyle Ford Mortgage Team.
Blackjack Contracting Inc. is a premier contractor for real estate investors, having transformed over 250 single-family homes into multiple legal suites. Blackjack is proud to introduce their newest venture, reicontractor.ca. Check out reicontractor.ca to get support with planning, design, renovation services from the most experienced real estate investor contractors. reicontractor.ca. Powered by Blackjack Contracting.
Costas Cavellos, founder of First Access Condos. Now, in our world, there are numerous investment opportunities and schemes that people pitch to you daily. Which one do you choose? Which one is right for you? Now, when it comes to investing, you want to invest in something that there's a great demand for, but not enough supply. And everyone knows in Southern Ontario, the one thing that's in short supply is housing. First Access Condos lets you buy today and reap the benefits in the future. Pay today's prices to invest, sell at tomorrow's prices. That's the beauty of pre-construction condos, and we are First Access Condos.
Hey, it's Rav. Welcome back to Everyday Investor. We're talking to my friend Matt Kuchar. He's teaching us how we can make money investing in Southwest Florida. The 1% rule still applies. Just Matt, that's fantastic. That you can still do that now in Fort Myers, 15 minutes drive to one of the best beaches, I think, in North America. I really love that whole Fort Myers Beach, Vanderbilt Beach, Bonita Springs. I mean, it's just really, really, really nice down there. And I find that it's great weather. I like the Miami side, but I find the Gulf side has more consistent, weather. I can really kind of count on it to, darken up if I want to work on my tan, if you will. But Matt, you have a business. It's done so well. I mean, month after month. How long have you been, when did you start that business? 3 years ago, 2 years ago?
Actually longer. I started it in 2016. So we've been doing this for 7 years. I started in Colorado.
Okay.
And, what had happened, I was a busy real estate agent and doing much like you, 50, 60 deals a year by myself. And I tried to go skiing one day, and like anybody, you get out to the slopes. I'm all ready with my buddy, and I get a call from a buyer going like, "Hey, this home just came available. I got to go see it today," and stuff. Just like today, it was flying off the market immediately. So I did what any other agent would do, right? I started calling my buddies, "Hey, can you go show this home?" And texting everybody in my office and going like, "Hey, I need help. I need help. I need help." And it didn't help that it was downtown Denver on a Friday evening. So nobody wanted to touch this thing. They're like, "Yeah, I got plans. I can't do it." So eventually I got one soft-hearted soul that was like, "Yes, I'll go show you that home or show that home for you." And I'm like, "I'll pay you $100. Later I wrote the contract, got the house, it was amazing. But I was having a beer with a buddy later going like, man, there's got to be a better solution. So, you always hear the back of the napkin, and we wrote down the Uber of real estate, and that's kind of how we came up with it. So
explain it. Yeah, explain how Shoami works. I think it's brilliant. I mean, I was a broker owner a decade ago or so, and also showing homes to friends and family, and now my son does it a little bit, and it's hard. Like, are you paying by the hour? Are you giving them a piece of a commission if it goes through? So it's hard to figure out. So Shoami, I think it's a fantastic idea. It's an app. How does it work? And just break it down.
Yeah. So basically, an agent would create a profile. Right now it's agent to agent. So you have to be a licensed agent to use it. But you would go in there, create your profile, and enter in the date, time, location of the home that you need shown and how much you're willing to pay. Most of the showings pay $50 or cost $50. And then that notification goes out to all the agents signed up in that area. And the first one to accept it, they show the home. So then that agent would go out, meet your buyer, say, hey, I'm working for Matt, just showing you the home. They're going to go show the home for you. They get paid. And you keep your client, you keep your commission, you keep your schedule. That showing agent gets paid, right? They get some showing experience, and they also gain market knowledge. And so it's really a win-win, and it's geographical. So I'm not asking an agent in one part of town, like where I was at. I was in Highlands Ranch, which was 45-minute drive from downtown. I'm not asking somebody from a different area to show in that area. The agents draw a map around where they're willing to show the homes. So they're local. They're not, it's much more efficient. So it's basically a service that connects one real estate agent with another real estate agent to show homes for a fee.
And so you said, people use around $50, but it's up to the agent to decide how much he's willing to pay someone to show their home. It could be $100, it could be $40. I mean, it depends. It's all dependent, because sometimes
the minimum is 39, right? You're not going to get by less than 39. And how does Shoami make money, right? So because we know there's no setup fees, there's no monthly fees, so we take a little bit out of each one. So on a $49 transaction, we keep 17. The showing agent gets 32, and that's basically how we work on that size. And in the different tiers, it's a little bit different, but yeah, that's how it works.
And sometimes, a buyer on a Saturday afternoon may want to see 4 homes. So again, same thing. They say, hey, I'm willing to pay $150 or $200 for you to show these 4 homes to, my clients, Bill and Susie. Take care of them for me. And
if you think of the scale of things, right? What's a commission? What you're going to make on a $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 home. $200 is nothing, right? It's like it makes total sense. And you're not, as an agent, you're not going to want to use this for every showing, right? Because it's still a relationship business. You need to be connecting with your clients. But on the one-offs and times when you can't be available, to have a fast, easy, reliable way to get somebody inside a home. And that's all they're doing. They're not giving an opinion of price, condition, location. If they ask any of those questions, the showing agents just redirect them back to you going like, you need to talk to Matt about that. He'll answer those questions. I'm just here to open the door. And you can set up your own preferred agent. Like, you start to build a network of people you like. You can put them in so they get a lead start on it. We have office solutions where brokerages want to keep it within their brokerage. If it's big enough, it works well. It doesn't really work with small brokerages because there's 5 guys and this is on the other side of town. It probably wouldn't work as well.
So you're doing it within the brokerages or within the real estate boards? And where are you in America? Like, are you just in the city you're in, or how many different cities are you in?
We're in every state.
We're
nationwide. We've got over 40, I think we're at 44,000 agents signed up for it right now.
Wow.
So and we get requests in Canada, but we're just not international yet, So I think eventually that'll be something that we do, but now you really have 2 groups, right? You have the general population, the general agent population. And then if you set up a brokerage account, there are 2 ways to set it up. The brokerage accounts could either have a closed network, right? There are some offices with 600-700 agents. They're like, we just want our agents within our office to get it. If nobody picks it up, that's fine. That's the closed group. The semi-closed or open is it goes to the agents within that office and they get a 10-minute lead start. If nobody in that office picks it up, it goes out to the general population. So the broker would choose that, but that's only if they have the brokerage solution. If they don't, then it's just agent to agent type situation.
And right now, this is a private company?
Yes.
Private?
Yep.
Yeah. And so are you looking for investors or you're done now with that? You have enough capital?
We've got enough capital. We're actually cash flowing. So it's not like, it's kind of like my rental property. you paid cash for it, you built it, you nursed it, and then it just it's taking off. So, yeah.
No, but I mean, from
right now, that's the case. But we are looking. We could get funding. We may be open to that. I guess we'll see.
I mean, this show is called The Everyday Investor. If you were to bring it to Canada, there might be something interesting there.
Oh, absolutely. I think there is a company that's kind of doing what we're doing up there. But I'd have to research it. But I know that there is one company that kind of has the general idea, not exactly quite as advanced. Because like we have counter proposals. There's a lot of intuitive stuff that you have to build that you don't know until you've been doing it for 6-7 years, that you go, how do we solve this problem? How do we solve it when they cancel?
I think, I mean, it's what people try to do anyways, but you have a platform and it doesn't cost me anything unless someone's going to show one of my houses. So back to the real estate side of things, Matt, there's a lot of people here, a lot of viewers, for this show in the Toronto area, across Canada. Are you still able to help? If your information's there on the screen, if somebody needs a realtor to be able to look at investment properties in the Fort Myers, Naples area, are you still doing that, or are you kind of shifted full-time to Shawami?
I have shifted full-time to Shawami. I could certainly connect them with people who are trustworthy and honest down here, but I only work for like our minister, Matt. He's looking for a home. I'm going to help him, right? been doing this for 30 years, so I might as well use my license still. But that's really what my whole focus really has been. I mean, believe me, it's taking a fair amount of time. But if your listeners wanted to connect with me and said, hey, who could I trust down there? The other thing that we see a lot of investors down here doing right now is the Airbnb and VRBOs that they can use as a second home. In fact, my wife helps manage like 50 of them. So we understand what they're looking for in that, how to make the numbers work in both, mostly single family homes and duplexes, but they do some condos and stuff like that. But I can at least point them in the right direction so they don't get, burned with somebody that doesn't know what they're doing or is dishonest.
Well, listen, man, thank you so much for being on the show. And thank you for, just kind of inspiring. We can still buy real estate in Southwest Florida and get a great return on it. And I think your business here is fantastic. And hopefully it can come to, I think, don't quote me on it, but I believe the Toronto Real Estate Board, 60,000 realtors. It's the largest board in North America.
Wow.
So if somehow it got within there, and then of course, so we have a company here, my friend Howard, one of the principals, Right at Home Realty, like one brokerage, 7,000 realtors, right? 8,000. I'm not sure where he's at now.
That's a monster brokerage. That's huge.
So maybe there's some opportunity in Canada, but I'll see you soon in Southwest Florida. And thanks for all that you do. Appreciate you being on the show.
You're welcome. Can't wait to get you down here again.
Yes. And thank you guys for watching the show. Without you, we would not have one. To watch this show again or any of our other episodes on demand, make sure you go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Until then, we'll see you next week. Same place, same time. Honey, I love you. I'll be home soon. Thanks for watching, everyone.